guys, it's Paige, and I hope you guys are doing awesome. Yesterday it's been 1 month since I uploaded my first BookTube video, and I probably technically should have done the BookTube Newbie Tag when I did that first video, but I didn't even know it existed because basically I watched 2 or 3 days of BookTube videos after finding it, and I was just like, I couldn't sleep or fall asleep when I wanted to because I kept just going over in my head like what I would say. And so I just decided to do it so I could just like give my mind some peace and fall asleep when I wanted to fall asleep. And yeah, so I just did it. And yeah, and the first question is, why'd you start this channel? And I started it because I love reading and I love talking about books, but I don't really have a place where I can do that. You know, I'm from a small town, I've said it before, I don't really think there's any like book clubby type things here. And even if there was, I mean, I seriously doubt that they would read books that I wanted to read because I really love romance, and I don't know. I mean, I think it's probably popular here, but I don't, or at least, because I mean, there are romance books in the library, but whatever. And I have a couple of bookish friends, but we've been friends for like 5 years now, or almost 5 years, so we talk about like real life stuff. And when we do talk about books, it's not really super in depth. And I do talk to my mom about my romance books, but romance not really her thing, so she doesn't really get it. And I just wanted a place where somebody would get it, and I feel like BookTube is definitely a place where that could happen. And so I started my channel. The next question is, what are some fun, unique things that you can bring to BookTube? I think I'm fun, but also, you know, I do read romance, and I don't think there's a ton of just romance booktubers out there. I've found a few, and if you know any, like, put their links down. I know Jess from Peace Love Books is, and Steph's, I don't know if it's all romance. I don't know. I can't remember exactly what her channel is. So I know those two, and I know Catherine Cassidy, and I know Riley Marie reads some. But yeah, I know they read other stuff too. Well, I mean, Jess from Peace Love Books usually just reads romance, but yeah. So I can bring romance. I'm another, you know, one, add more voice to that. And also, I feel like I haven't seen a ton of booktubers who read indies as much as I do. I read mostly indies, so I think I can bring romance and indies. The next question is, what are you most excited about for this new channel? I'm the most excited to just, you know, talk about books and, I don't know, feel like a part of, you know, a book community. At least I want to feel a part of a book community. And yeah, I'm just really excited to talk about books and stuff. So yeah. The fourth question is, why do you love reading? I feel like books are so magical. It's crazy to me like how a book can change your life. And I know that can happen because I wouldn't be like on the path that I'm on now like without reading several books. Like for a while I was gonna go to school to like work at a publishing house, but then shit happened and just I was gonna go on a different path. But now I want to open up my own all romance bookstore in Colorado. I think it's like the best place to open it. Colorado, I think that's, you know, the best like Midwestern state to open, you know, just an all romance bookstore. There's only one like in the US, and it's in LA. And yeah, California's not like super far from Colorado, but I mean, it's still, you know, it's still a bit to get there. And I think there should be one in the Midwest and like on the East Coast. So that way, you know, everybody, I know that it's a really big community there, and they have get-togethers and book clubs, and I want that for you know, I want that for everybody who loves romance. And so that's the way, that's, you know, what I want. And I wouldn't be on this path if I hadn't read books. And also just, it's so special to me that you can be reading a book and it can, and maybe you're just like, yeah, this is a good book. And then like you read something within that book and it just completely changes your mind, and that book becomes so amazing and so memorable. It's just, it's so special to me how books can do that. Books are just magical, and I love how they make me feel, and you know, they're an escape, and they're just wonderful. I'm sorry, I'm not over my cough, unfortunately. Okay. The next question is, what book or series got you into reading? And it's totally cliche, but yes, Twilight by Stephanie Meyer. That was my book. I enjoyed reading before that, but yeah, no, I was totally a movies, TV girl. Yeah, I always say that movies and TV shows were like my first love, but books are my true love. Yeah, that's just... So Twilight was the book that started it all, started my deep and abiding love for reading. All right, the next question is, what questions would you ask your favorite booktuber? And you guys, I am not a super inquisitive person. I mean, I love mysteries and thrillers and stuff like that, but I don't know. I would be like the most horrible interviewer ever, just because I can never like think of questions. I mean, the only question that I want to know, like when I'm watching a booktuber, is like how, when they're doing those like song tags, and I just want to know how they make the funny voice in with the song. And I feel like it's probably like some filter that I need to find, and I can find it out on my own. I don't know. I know some booktubers like read a lot, but I do read a lot. So I don't know. I don't really have any questions. I never have. It's just me. Okay. The next question is, what challenges do you think starting a BookTube channel will be the hardest to overcome? I think for me, it will be a little bit, I think probably the fact that I will mostly just be talking about romance will be a little bit hard to overcome, because, you know, people like love YA so much, and romance kind of does get a bad rap. I feel like, you know, it's really underappreciated, and I don't know. I don't know. I feel like it's just not seen as really like legitimate. You know, I feel like people just think it's like a trashy romance novel, or, you know, I don't want to say like not feminist. I don't really think people, I don't really know, but I just, I feel people just don't appreciate romance as much. And so I think that's going to be a little bit hard to overcome. And also the fact that I'm not super, like, social media savvy. Like, I don't really like Twitter, and everybody loves Twitter. And I feel like I should love Twitter, because Twitter's, like, super fast-paced, and I like fast-paced stuff. I like fast-paced songs, and you know, I don't like slow things, but I don't like Twitter. And I don't know why, because I should, but yeah. And also, I'm not really good at doing short, concise points. I can, but it's really hard for me. I blame my mom, because my mom is like that too. So yeah, and I do have an Instagram, and I've posted a little more on there than I usually do, but just, yeah, my social media presence is going to be a bit difficult, because I know that a lot of people do find their, like, subscribers on, like, Twitter and Instagram and other places, and I just kind of suck at that. It might not seem like it, but I'm a pretty private person, and, I mean, I do, like, share a lot, but at the same time, I don't. And I just don't really, I'm not a huge poster, so that's going to be kind of difficult because I'm going to have to force myself to wait. Yuck. I'm sorry. I know a lot of people love Twitter, and if you love Twitter, that's all good. I just, it's so hard for me. Okay. Anyways, moving on. When did you start reading is the next question. And I found Twilight in 6th grade, so I'm pretty sure I was 12 years old. And yeah, like I said, I'd always enjoyed reading. I found a friend, like, actually recommended Twilight to me. She read it, and she loved it, and she's just like, oh my gosh, you gotta read this book. And I'm like, what is it? And she's like, it's Twilight, it's about vampires. And I was just like, sign me up, because I love vampires, I love paranormal-y stuff, just always have. And I read it, and I loved it, and Twilight is, it's really sad, but Twilight's probably my most reread book, which kind of horrifies me. I mean, like I said, it's going to hold a special place in my heart, but I was pretty much done with Twilight after Breaking Dawn. Like, I didn't realize how not good it was until people pointed it out. And then, well, so I was done with it after Breaking Dawn because I was reading adult romance, and then the movies came along and pretty much ruined the books, and just like, I forgot how I felt reading those books, and I was reading adult romance, and just, yeah, so, boom. Okay, I think that's all I need to say about that. Where do you read is the 9th question. On my couch, which is also my bed. I mean, I'm doing this in my room, but I never come up here. And I sleep on a couch I call it my room. It used to be the dog's room, but now it's my room. So pretty much my favorite place to read is my couch / bed. Okay, and the last question is, what kind of books do you like to read? And I think you know, romance. I love to read romance. I pretty much just read romance. I read all, like, subgenres within romance. But I don't know, if a book interested me enough and it wasn't if it wasn't romance, I'd probably read it. I don't know. But I'm pretty much, yeah, I just read romance. That's pretty much 99.9% of what you're going to see on here. And I think that's it for, well, I mean, that's all the questions. So that's it for the BookTube Newbie Tag. See ya!